Would you say your school is more geared towards those interested in competition or self-defense?
I would say that jiu-jitsu itself loans itself pretty well to self-defense, but I would say my school is more geared toward competition training. We do have self-defense built in, but any place that tells you just come learn jiu-jitsu, it's saying self-defense, that's not really accurate. Your self-defense program has to be separate. So I'd say we're geared more to a competition style training.
Okay, and what does a typical day of training there consist of?
We have two types of classes. We have advanced classes and we have fundamental classes. So they both pretty much start out the same. We warm up and stretch. Then I go over the technique that we're doing for the day. We drill the technique. We practice the technique. And then we work live, positional, from the technique position that we work. And then the last hour of the advanced class, we spar live position. The basic class, the fundamental class, typically one technique, maybe a chain of two. The advanced class is more of a system of technique, so we don't teach, a move from a position and then we move on. We teach a technique that branches off into, what if scenarios. If you're doing X technique and the guy does this, then it flows into this. And we typically build off of that for about 2 weeks so that you get a series of events from a position so that you're not stuck in that spot. If I can't do the technique you showed me, now I'm lost. We give you options. That's kind of the difference between the two classes.
And where does training usually begin for someone that just starts off?
I encourage everyone that comes in, no matter what their experience level is, take both classes. So if you first start off, I suggest that you take at least one fundamental class, and then the rest of the classes that you're taking to mix it up between the fundamental and the advanced class. I make my advanced students, they still go to the fundamental class. I believe in exposing new guys to techniques that may be above their head so that later on when they see that technique and they can grasp it, it's not new to them. But I also make sure my advanced guys continue to drill the basics so they don't forget about them, so that they understand that it's important to keep those fundamental techniques in your arsenal.
Okay. So, after 2 to 3 months, what could you expect to have learned?
I would say 2 to 3 months, if you stick with the jiu-jitsu program itself, depending on how often you come, you'll have an excellent defense. You'll have some attack and some setups. And you'll be able to link at least 2 moves together. You're not going to be black belt level in 2 or 3 months to where you're 3 or 4 moves ahead of the person that you're submitting.
Yeah.
But you'll be able to, set somebody up to where I'm going for this submission. If he blocks it, then I can go to this submission. Or to be able to move from position to position, at least 2 levels deep. But ultimately, 2 or 3 months, you'll have very good defense.
Okay. So, besides age, what's the main difference between your children's and your adult classes? I'm hearing a lot of background noise on your end.
Yeah, I'm out with my son walking.
Oh, okay.
Basically, of course, the adult classes are a little more intense. We also, in the kids' classes, we try to talk more about, we use jiu-jitsu as a vehicle to talk about health, fitness, to talk about teamwork, what it means to be part of a team. We also, I try to make sure that parents understand that bringing a kid in who's maybe 4 or 5 years old, I don't want to say you're wasting your money, but they're not going to grasp jiu-jitsu, the art itself. You're just kind of exposing them to being on the mat. And if they understand the basic muscle movements to each technique, I'm happy with that. As the kid gets older, he'll start to understand more of the details. But we pretty much run both classes in a similar fashion with warm-ups and stretches, the technique, and then we drill positional for the kids. But we don't make the major emphasis just about jiu-jitsu with the kids play. It's more about living a healthy lifestyle, doing well in school, being part of a team,
Just being an overall better person.
Say again?
So you kind of train them to be an overall better person, as well as train them in martial arts?
Yeah, to try to understand that jiu-jitsu is part of a lifestyle, not just a sport.
Okay. And so you've trained in Muay Thai, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling. Do you incorporate all of these styles in your MMA class, or is there more or less?
Absolutely, all those styles are included. There's some kickboxing in there as well. I'm under Fernando Yamasaki, who's a black belt in judo and jiu-jitsu, so he's also incorporated some judo techniques. Plus, I've been training and competing for a long time, so I kind of developed my own system style of MMA. So it does incorporate those styles, but not in just the traditional sense. It's more of a holistic system to where you adapt, maybe a judo throw, no gi, that will work better in an MMA fight when you hit the ground as to, for example, not throw the guy to where you would have gotten points in the judo match, but in a jiu-jitsu tournament or an MMA fight, the guy's going to end up taking your back and choking. So everything's kind of integrated into a system, an MMA system.
Okay. And so what would you say is the main goal for your students?
It all depends. I have a various array of students. Some come to me just because they want to lose weight and they're tired of going to the gym or running on the treadmill. I have quite a few students that come to me because their job requires some type of martial arts training or self-defense. Like, I have Secret Service guys, FBI agents, I have some cops. Then I have guys that come who want to compete as professionals. But what's great is, no matter what their goal for coming to the school, once they get on the mat, they all train equally as hard, and they're all there for the same reason, to just learn what they can learn and to help each other learn.
And would you say that your former military and law enforcement experience helps you when you're coaching your students?
I think it does. I think my job in law enforcement and in the military, I've always had a leadership goal. I've always been in charge. But I've always liked, just like any sport, the camaraderie between teams, between teammates. And I think the military and being part of law enforcement, you understand that, in those jobs when you're in life and death situations, the people you train with and work with every day become your family, your second family. For some people, it's their only family. And I think that mindset has traveled into my gym to where the guys that come and train with us, girls that come and train with us, the kids that come and train with us, it's not just about being a school. It's more of a family environment. Everybody there's friends. We hang out after we're done training. We all go to each other's, weddings and kids' birthday parties, and it's definitely...
Sounds like it's really like a family.
Yeah, it's definitely a family experience, and I think, that's what I wanted to have, and I think that comes from my time in law enforcement and the military.
Okay. And so you offer private training classes, correct?
Yes.
And does that cost extra?
Yes, it costs extra. We do private training for people who are part of the gym. And then for people who are part of the gym, they get a 50% discount on private lessons.
Okay.
But I go to every open mat, and I'm there before class and after class. So if the student wants to work one-on-one for a while at an open mat, or if they have questions about something specific to their technique, I'm always there and available. If you schedule a time off gym hours for me to meet you there, that's when it costs extra.
Okay. And so what would you say are your future plans and goals for your school?
Right now, I have a job during the day, so gym for me is just more out of my love for the sport. So, we've been growing slow and steadily. We have guys that are competing, winning. So for now, my goal for the gym is to just continue to do it as long as people like coming and they have a good time and they're learning and people want me to be there. I don't really look so far into the future with it because I don't need to do this for a living. I do it because I love it and I enjoy it. And I like being around other fighters. I like being part of the team again. So for me, I don't have any size goals or monetary goals, or as long as I can pay the bills and keep the lights on, people want to train. That's my goal. Just to have that experience and to have the guys around and keep learning and getting better.
And is there anything that you would say makes your school unique from others like it?
I would say I walked away from the gi for about 5 or 6 years and strictly trained and studied no-gi technique. I've since gone back to that a few years ago. So I would say from a no-gi perspective and then MMA application for jiu-jitsu, I think any school like mine, that would be what sets us apart. We have a very big no-gi program. We have a very big jiu-jitsu for MMA program. And I don't think other schools in my area have that. I think they train no-gi, but I don't think they've spent as much time strictly studying that as I have.
Okay. So, is there anything that you would like to say to any of my viewers that would be interested in training at your school?
I would say hit the website, check it out, look at some of our videos, check out the other schools in the area, go train there, then come train with us, and go where you like. Jiu-jitsu and MMA aren't for everybody. My school and my atmosphere might not be for everybody. Very open to, try everything that's out there. Try every art, try every jiu-jitsu school you can, and go to the one that fits your lifestyle, fits what you're looking for. Because if you're not happy with your school, it doesn't matter how good the techniques are, you're not going to be happy. So before you come in, really sit down and think about what you're trying to get out of the training. Make sure the school offers what you like. Make sure you meet the people there. And make sure the atmosphere is what you're looking for. And if we meet all those standards and we're yes across the board on all those questions, to fit right in. But the best way to do it is just come out and try it.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good night.
Thanks a lot.